Are you ready? Hi, my name is Louise.
And hi, I'm Emma.
And you're listening to Murder or Myth.
The true crime podcast where not everything is true.
The name of the game is... Okay, sorry, I was trying to distract you.
From what, my line?
Yeah. The aim of the game is to find out whether the story is actually a murder or if it's just a myth.
Now, let's get started. Started. Now, let's get started. So, Louise, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm really good.
You're
Fresh
really
off
good.
the back of our 25th release last week.
Going for 26, we've made it to half a year.
Half a year of
weekly
podcasts, guys.
releases. Weekly releases.
Half a year of episode, guys. Woohoo! Thanks, guys. Stop cheering now.
Yeah. We can put in a fake applause.
Okay, we'll post-production that. So, Louise, I'm going to tell you a story.
I guess technically this isn't our 26 because we're going to have a bonus Halloween special.
Okay, so this is like the 26.5 episode.
Yeah, we'll keep this as 26 though.
26,
That'll be Halloween
yeah.
special. Yeah.
Okay. 26 plus episode. So, I'm going to tell you a story.
Maybe we should name this 27. Is that confusing things?
No, it's definitely going to be 26 because it's like a regular.
Okay.
Maybe we
Let's
don't
just...
number the Halloween special.
Yeah, we just say Halloween special. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story.
Yeah.
And it is the McDonald's murder.
Okay.
So this story takes place in Boston, Massachusetts. And it was Wednesday the 14th of November in 2007. Jaden Wise is working the evening shift at Tremont Street location of McDonald's in Boston City.
How do you spell Wise?
Weiss.
Interesting. You went for
Why?
the same surname as Madison Wise. Weiss.
I'd go for the surname. It's just in the story, like.
Interesting detail though.
Okay.
What was his name? Jason Wise.
Jaden. Dead air.
Okay. Same surname is throwing me off immediately.
Okay. Good to know. So
Future reference there.
he was working alongside 4 other employees and the shift manager, Yvonne May, who was 22. They began their shift at 3 p.m. and were set to work till 11 p.m. The employees were split up between the cooking duties and the drive-thru and the front of the house desk. So this particular day, Jaden was tasked with manning the first drive-thru window, and he just had to confirm customers' orders and payments, as we're all familiar with. The shift, by all accounts, seemed to be passing normally, with some regular customers and people just passing through. But 8:23 came, and an order was placed at the drive-thru for 1 Big Mac meal. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary as the order was prepared. However, the car seemed to stall in taking its time to move around to the first window. At this time, Jaden was joined in the first window booth by his fellow co-worker, Vanessa Howard. She was the one taking orders and he was taking the payments.
Okay.
So at 8:27, like 4 minutes later, between time that they started the
Specific
order,
time zones. Okay.
a black sedan car pulls across to the first window. Jaden opens the window and was met by a masked man who pulled a gun and asked him to empty the cash that he could get at the cash register. He tells the 2 workers to remain calm and not to alert anyone else. So Jaden struggled to open the cash register, but eventually got the perpetrator approximately $150.
Okay.
The man demanded more as he became agitated and threatened the 2 with the gun. Jaden could not access more money as the till system used at the time had like max cash float allowed, so that's all he could get. The 2 employees couldn't do nothing as the man became frenzied and opened fire into the first drive-through window.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very bad. Vanessa was hit with the upper and lower arm, while Jaden took bullets to his abdomen and shoulder.
Okay.
Only once the first shots were fired were any other employees alerted, so no one knew anything was happening or out of the ordinary. So this whole sequence of event happened very quickly. At the other drive-through window, the shift manager, Yvonne, was placing the order at the window and getting the drinks ready. So she had just heard shots. Just as quick as he came, the masked man left by speeding past the last drive-through window, still shooting. He continued shooting out the window as he rounded the corner in front of the McDonald's and out into the street. An ambulance was called by the kitchen staff for Jaden and Vanessa. The police were alerted also at the same time. So, in the space of about 6 minutes, 2 young employees lost their lives. Jaden had succumbed to his injuries by bleeding out by the time the ambulance arrived. And unfortunately, Yvonne, who was in the last window, had got shot in her chest as he drove by. So she made it to the hospital, but died in the OR during surgery to remove the bullet debris and stop the bleeding. Vanessa, who was the employee taking orders at the first window, was taken to hospital, treated for her injuries, and another customer suffered minor injuries from the perpetrator shooting at the front of the building. So police questioned anyone still at the restaurant, and they had CCTV footage as well. Due to the fact the gunman had stalled in the drive-thru, they had clear plates numbers identified and had a lead to work off for now. Vanessa's account also came into play, so they knew they were looking for a white male, black sedan, so they had something to go off. They ran the plates of the car, and the car was registered to John Harrelson. When the police showed up at his house to question him, they didn't find the car. They did, however, find that John's son David had taken the car some hours earlier and did not speak to his parents as to where he went or where he was going. He became the prime suspect, and the car was clocked, passing a set of interstate cameras in New Hampshire an hour later. So the police began a manhunt and apprehended David fleeing north. In the car they found the approximate $150 and 2 semi-automatic guns with ammo refills. A court date was set quickly, and 3 months later the trial began. The trial seemed cut and dry, however David's lawyers pled insanity as a cause for the killing, stating that David's parents had said he was normal and acting regularly, and this was out of the blue, shocking for everyone. The defence, however, had intel that David was in severe financial debt and owed money to local drug dealer, hence the armed robbery turned murder. The jury at the trial deliberated for only 2.5 hours, and then they found David Harrelson guilty of 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. He got served 36 years in prison and is still serving time now. So that is the story of the McDonald's drive-thru murder.
Okay.
Notes?
I have some notes. So you said the car wasn't named under his name, was it? It was named under his dad's name.
Yeah, so when they ran the registration plates,
Mm-hmm.
it was John Harrelson's car,
Okay.
but his son had took it that day.
And what was his son's name?
David
David Johnson.
Harrelson.
David Harrelson.
Yeah.
Oh, I just misheard. Okay.
John Harrelson, David Harrelson.
Oh, okay. So the fact he had the same surname as the previous story, I don't know why that's throwing me off, but maybe a little bit. Specific time details, I don't know, that could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Use the word perpetrator, I'm not sure why, that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. And you mentioned about someone getting the drinks ready, which was a very specific detail to have been noted at the time. So I'm going to go with myth.
Okay, final answer.
Final answer.
It is a myth.
It is.
I don't know why you could always tell them so well, and I can always just screw them up.
You don't.
Oh, I do.
It was just a...
I was like generic American surnames. What is?
But that's the same thing I did. And also...
He's gonna throw a Z in there.
I don't feel like someone would... I don't know why. I don't feel like someone would... No, I'm sure they have before. Armed rob at McDonald's?
Yeah, because it's like too easy.
But is it too easy? Like, when you said they have a certain amount of cash flow, I would have assumed that. Like, it's a McDonald's. They're not dealing out in heavy
Fair.
change.
But it was kind of as well like he was silly.
He was silly.
He was stupid. Like he used his dad's car to do the robbery. Like
yeah, but
he's not a smart criminal.
No.
Like I don't know. Like I feel like I write details into it, but they're always the wrong details.
Like, it was, like, about to go down with these two people murdering, and you were like, yeah, so she was just getting the drinks. Like, who added that into the newspaper, like, writing about it?
But it's, like cut scene 2 meters down the building. She's just doing her own thing. She's doing what you do in McDonald's. Getting the food, getting the drinks.
I know, but something about it just hit me as slightly... Like, I understand why you put it in, and I would put it in too, but just something about it hit me as, like, a specific detail to have noted.
That is so true.
It definitely could have been... Like, I would almost guess murder.
Except for the surname detail. When you said it, I was like, she fucking knows. She knows.
Yeah.
That was, silly. Okay, well, I mean, that's the end of the episode, I think. Have you any more announcements this week?
No more announcements
No more
this week. I'm out of announcements.
Okay, so...
Well, thanks for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe.
On this week's episode, Louise correctly guessed my myth was in fact a myth.
Find us on all streaming platforms.
Join us next week for another thrilling adventure.
Remember, it's myth until proven murder. Schley.
So disappointed.
It's okay.
No, it's not, and you would not be happy yourself if that was you.
No, I wouldn't, because you didn't get my myth.
So you went 2 for 2.
I fooled you.